All right, y'all, we are back with another video. And before we start, please put prayers for Donald Trump in the comment section. We must protect President Trump at all times. And it brings me to this video where Kamala Harris just made a huge mistake. She is now regretting picking Tim Walz as a VP, which she's already a bad choice herself. And then you pick Tim Walz, a man that is lying about his military background, a man who allowed rioters to burn down the city of Minneapolis, and then Kamala Harris went right behind him and let out the very same people who was in the riot that caused it to burn down. She let them out. And now she's sitting back regretting it. So like I said, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into this so y'all can see exactly what I'm talking about. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. That way you can stay up to date with everything that's going on. Ain't it something, Kamala Harris, she picked somebody who is just as leftist as her. A man that is a liar. When Tim Walz was the one used to call Donald Trump for help. Yes, Donald Trump exposed that. And now he want to go to these rallies and talk crap about Donald Trump. These people is just fake as it can get. Just like Kamala Harris called Joe Biden a racist. Y'all remember that? And then she acting like Joe Biden is the best person she ever been around. I'm telling you, these people are just fake and phony. We have to get President Trump back in the White House. And I know we're going to get him back up in there. Without further ado, let's dive straight into this so y'all can see exactly what I'm talking about. Let's go.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Okay, so I guess Kamala Harris has finally defined herself. Her vice presidential pick here, I think, is a little bit odd. You know, my understanding is that Kamala Harris had a little bit of an imaging issue, and mostly that issue stemmed from the fact that she was viewed as too much of a far-left progressive socialist type. And really over the last couple of days, it felt like Kamala Harris was trying to run away from that label. As we covered yesterday, progressives felt abandoned.
Kamala Harris is renouncing every progressive position she's ever held, one by one. Just in case anyone still had an iota of hope that she might be better than Joe Biden on policy, Harris has spent the last few days making it clear that she is indeed running as just another centrist Democrat.
You know, supposedly Kamala Harris has abandoned her progressive ways. Yet here she is picking Tim Walz as her vice presidential pick. Two socialists on the ticket. I think a lot of people are probably asking the same question I'm asking. What the frick is going on here? Are you a socialist or are you not? In the primaries, she's a socialist. Then in the general election, all of a sudden she's not. Then she picks a socialist as a partner. When elected, what's Kamala gonna do? Are they gonna enact progressive reform? Or are they just gonna be your prototypical corporate Democrat? Nobody knows. This is the ticket that Democrats are offering. Who knows? Socialism, maybe. Why not? Could be. Okay, so I guess that's the Kamala Harris, or rather the Harris-Walz ticket. Let's have a conversation about it. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Okay, so Kamala Harris picks far-left loon Tim Walz. And now, of course, the left is doing what it usually does, attempting to scrape very recent history from our memory. Nancy Pelosi is deployed to MSNBC to tell everybody it's crazy to think that Tim Walz is left-wing.
Wow.
Tim Walz is wonderful. And she had many good choices among the six and certainly among the two. I'm a big fan of Governor Shapiro. Tim Walz, I know very well. He served in the House. To characterize him as left is so unreal. It's just not what the question. He's right down the middle. He's a heartland of America Democrat.
Yup, of course, the gaslighting continues. You're a nutcase if you think that Tim Walz is too far left or far left socialist. Nancy Pelosi tells us literally less than a week after Tim Walz himself showed up on the White Men for Harris Zoom call theatrical performance, where he said this.
But we can get out there, reach out, make the case. And for one thing, don't ever shy away from our progressive values. One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness.
Yeah, but of course, we're the crazy ones, right? No, once again, it's a total attempted rebrand. Tim Walz is the perfect guy for the job. He brought food to children. That seems to be the argument these days. Although I'm not exactly sure what kind of argument that is. Are Democrats implying that Republicans want kids to go hungry? If they are, that's a very interesting stance, I guess. You know, just like with Kamala Harris, I think Democrats are going to have to go a little bit beyond that. They're going to have to defend their records here, their records that they're clearly trying to run away from. And while that just might be a little bit difficult, if the argument's going to be, well, I'm not a progressive and I never said those things. I mean, for Pete's sakes, this is who Tim Walz is.
Should cities be allowed to be sanctuary cities?
Yes, local control.
We have guns on the streets that were meant for war. We're going to have to put policies in place that make sure we're attracting teachers of color so that students of color have someone that they understand, look like, think like, see like in front of them.
Wow.
Just left, he's far left.
This
in
is
fact,
crazy.
He might be one of the most far left governors in the country. So of course the left is going to continue to play this clip. Look at Governor Tim Walz signing a bill providing.
I mean, just fake as it can get. And you can't even listen to nothing Nancy Pelosi say. You can't listen to nothing that comes out her mouth. Kamala Harris could have picked anybody. She would have gave the same response, the same answer. Well, I think it's a good pick. He ain't as far left as people trying to say. She would have said the same thing regardless of who it was. She know this man is far left. Why she ain't talking about how he allowed them rioters to burn down the city of Minneapolis? Why she ain't talking about that? That would have been Donald Trump that let that happen. Oh, they'll be running that in the ground. They'll be running that in the ground. You got somebody like Kamala Harris who leaving the borders open, don't care about the illegal immigrants coming through because she wants the votes. She's pandering to black people, trying to make it seem like she's black. Like Donald Trump said, depending on what crowd she in front of is going to be the way she going to try to speak. This woman is fake. And so is Tim Walz, is a person, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this man is lying about his military background. That right there is something serious. When you are lying about your background, when you're supposed to be going to Afghanistan and Iraq, and you just leave your team, tell them to go ahead, you finna drop out and go to Congress. That right there is wrong. That is bad, and that's the reason why J.D. Vance just threw him another one when it came to that. His own team already exposed him for that. When it was time to go, he dropped out. I mean, come on. How is he going to sit up there and try to talk and go to these rallies and tell lies about people shouldn't have the guns he had in the military? Like, what gun did you have? You left. You didn't shoot anything. You left. You left your team high and dry.
Government subsidized breakfast to all kids regardless of household income. Wow, so amazing, he really cares. That's what Democrats want you to look at. But how about this?
It's done.
A packed room at the St. Paul Armory erupted after the governor's signature made driver's license for all the law of the land.
Licenses for all. That's left-wing Governor Tim Walz
Wow.
signing onto a bill that provides driver's licenses to everyone, including illegal migrants.
Wow.
It's the same old...
Including illegal migrants can get driver license for coming in the country that they don't supposed to be, especially if they didn't come legally. So they can come in illegally and still get a driver's license. Like, you gotta be kidding me. How can we allow these people, him and Kamala Harris, to run this country for 4 years? I can tell you right now, we would not have no country if they get up in office. We already struggling now. Our country already destroyed now because of Kamala Harris and Joe Biden. Because of them. What you think it's going to go to if Kamala Harris was to be president and then you got Tim Walz as vice president? Ain't no way. I mean, come on, man. This right here is just bad.
Old manipulative Democrat strategy, using other people's money to appear altruistic. Oh, I'm taking care of the kids.
Wow.
But the reality of what they're doing is actually much more sinister. As I keep saying, the Democrats really want to focus the conversation on very isolated instances and topics. But if you look at the larger picture, well, it's obvious the Democrats are doing that as a distraction. They don't want people to be having the conversation that this guy is a far-left loon just like Kamala Harris.
Yep.
So Nancy Pelosi is deployed in the media and she says, they're not left. Really? I'm pretty sure they're frickin' left. I'm pretty sure they're left of left. I mean, they seem to be having that conversation on MSNBC.
I'm wondering, I have a yellow flag in my head going, if you squeal loud enough, she hears and responds. You know, there is going to be people that will come away from this experience thinking, the progressive backlash is what got her off of Shapiro or what got her off of Kelly. In fairness, maybe they didn't vet either, okay? That's also a possibility when all's said and done. But on substance, that I can't help but have that takeaway.
The idea here is that Tim Walz was a pick to appease progressives, but he's not left. She picked a progressive leftist to appeal to progressives, but you're the crazy one for pointing that out. Welcome to Democrat Looney Tunesville, where nothing ever frickin' makes any sense. A lot of people were expecting Kamala Harris to pick Josh Shapiro, but they decided not to due to his Jewish faith. I know that's not their official statement, but come on, that's the obvious reason they didn't take that pick.
Exactly.
And so I guess we learned a couple of things here about Kamala Harris. She's making picks to appeal to the far left, pro-Palestinian leftist mob, and she's now picked a non-swing state, far leftist governor as her running mate in order to continue this outreach to far left progressive voters, I guess. But they're running on a messaging platform,
and that's the reason why I said before, once they get into a debate, J.D. Vance is going to destroy Tim Walz. Think about so much stuff he got on him. Letting rioters burn down Minneapolis. You lying about your military background. You talking about putting tampons in boys' bathrooms. I mean, how can you let anybody like that be part of running a country? J.D. Vance is going to destroy Tim Walz, and Donald Trump is going to destroy Kamala Harris. Just watch what I tell you. I mean, that's the worst ticket, Tim Walz and Kamala Harris. That is just bad for business. Their policies suck. Their policy is going to keep people struggling, especially when you're talking about letting murderers and all that out of jail, let them walk free. I mean, come on, man. That is ridiculous.
As a ticket that represents moderate, middle ground, corporate Democrat policies and governing. Okay, very interesting indeed. I think a lot of people are probably as confused as I am. No one really knows what they're getting with Kamala Harris. It's kind of just a gamble, you know, a mystery box. You'll figure out where she lands on the communist spectrum after she gets elected into power, but as we know, that doesn't really matter for most of these empty-brained leftoids. I mean, based on their own statements, they'd vote for literally anything that isn't the evil orange man, even a potato, and don't ask them to prove it because they already have proved it after they voted for Joe Biden in 2020. I don't know, honestly, I don't even know what to say. I guess this election is shaping up to whether or not the country's on a path towards socialism. There's now two far-left, hardcore socialists running under the Democrat ticket. You know, previous political wisdom would tell you that Americans would never vote for a socialist. You always have to lean towards the center, especially in election season. But we'll see if that holds true here. A socialist ticket has arrived. Will the MK Ultra be strong enough? That's the question. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you.
All right, well, there we go right there. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Liberal High Mind. Great channel, you know, give great content. Keep us up to date with everything that's going on. Salute to Liberal High Mind. But I mean, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, they're just bad for business. Both of them team up is bad for business. You got to realize Kamala Harris don't know what she's doing. She's running from interviews. She ain't did an interview yet. I think she just recently accepted a debate with Donald Trump. Took her long enough. She's going to get destroyed. Her policies are garbage. Nobody is falling for her crap. Black people ain't falling for her crap with all this lying and phony stuff she's trying to do, getting rappers to twerk at political rallies, trying to draw black people in. It's exactly what she's trying to do, and it's not going to work. Trump 2024. Like I said, y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.